who's IFA, who was a resident question asker right now. He's he asked a lot of really good questions, but the first one was, should we create S3 cloud pages for other locations we are targeting within a larger area, the ones without a GBP? Or should ID pages only be created for location landing pages or locations with a Google Business Profile? And the mirroring structure of the diagram shows ID page for each location page. Well, no. So to be clear, we have a cloud page for each location page there. That's not the same as an ID page. An ID page is a cloud page, but an ID page is a cloud page. Well, it doesn't have to be a cloud page. I I make ID pages on cloud hosts. Okay, so it is a cloud page, but it is specifically used in the add ID field of the local business schema. And again, it doesn't have to be a cloud page. That's just how I've done it since 2019. Okay. So to be clear, the content mirroring structure is using cloud pages, but they're not ID pages, because the ID page is, remember, it's an asset, a unique resource identifier, URI, with the purpose of validating or corroborating local entity information for a specific branded location. Okay. So an ID page is just a page on the web. It doesn't have to be an S3 page or cloud page, nothing. It can be a page on your website. Okay. There's a reason why I do it on a cloud host instead. But a page on a cloud, an ID page is just some dedicated resource that has all the entity information that helps to validate a particular branded location. That's what an ID page is. Okay. The way that I build them is as a cloud page on Amazon S3. And then the way that ID pages are supposed to work, well, it depends on where they're being used, right? For local business, an ID page would be specifically referencing any of the page URLs that have accurate information published about that specific location. And when I say have accurate information published, I mean name, address, phone number, website, or some combination of those 4 data points, right? That's called a citation, guys. Understand that. A published mention is a citation. It doesn't matter. People think of them as business directory listings. That is true. A structured citation is typically a business directory listing. But any published mention of any of those data points elsewhere is also a citation. It is somewhere where a local business, company, brand, and their contact information, location information, et cetera, is being cited, right? It's being referenced. And so, again, ID pages for how they're used in local business schema is specifically to corroborate or validate the local entity information for that specific branded location. Then there can be overall brand schema, which would be like organization schema. And organization schema can have an add ID field too, right? So you can have an overall brand ID page that references anything that reinforces or validates the brand, but doesn't have to be location specific, because it could be a multi-location brand, right? That has multiple local business locations, and therefore there's overall brand schema, which can be done at the organization schema level with an ID page optimized at the brand level. And then there's branded location schema, which is local business schema, if that makes sense. So the whole point about that is an ID page is something that can be used. Technically, you can do an ID page for a location that doesn't even have a Google Business Profile, right? You could, especially if you're trying to mimic that it is a local business, you could do it, because you could have local business schema on various pages. I don't recommend it. Instead, I would just use web page schema and just still reference all the entities that I want Google to understand about that page. And you can do all of that through web page schema, same as attributes, or excuse me, knows about, areas served, all those types of alternate type mentions, all those different attributes that you can inject into web page schema to make Google fully aware of what the page is about without trying to simulate having a local business presence in areas that you don't, if that makes sense. So to be clear, ID pages as they relate to local business schema should be only used for specific locations that have a Google Business Profile, right? And then the local business schema goes into that location landing page, meaning the website URL linked to from the GBP as the website URL. That's the location landing page. That's where local business schema goes. It doesn't go site-wide. It's not something that you put globally in the HTML header that goes on every page. It should go into the location landing page. And then it's optimized for those specific location details, and any supporting assets, citation URLs, external page URLs, etc., that have accurate information published about that business should be referenced in that local business schema, in that ID page that is referenced in that local business schema, if that's clear, right? So for everything else, yeah, you can have cloud pages. And remember, you can use web page schema and all of those cloud pages to add a hell of a lot more detail as to what you want the search engines to understand about the page, right? That's what that's for.